keeping the pressure.
His second read wasn't there.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. This close, sneak it.
I don't think even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Chubb again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns add on to their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Smith to return it. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Yeah, the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. He gets it to Cooks. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football, but I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score a point.
Hit as he throws, he lost the football, it's loose. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
2nd and 9. And Watson's going to throw it here. Flushed out right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Baker. He's got his man. It's White. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 1st and goal. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. And a dump off to White. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Mayfield. 3 yards the gain there. 2nd down. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Now Mayfield. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Looking deep now for Amendola. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. And they'll indeed take a knee. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realized there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Cleveland, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers.
These players are on the last year of their contract. Up next, the Bears are on the road to face the Browns, two teams that have played each other just 16 times since 1950. Chicago's looking for their fourth straight win against Cleveland, and it's coming your way next.
First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel, and they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Again, everyone, with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense.
2 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out the 11th overall pick of the 2021 draft, Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterback shake-off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This defense for the Browns, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. They'll be led by a 3-time Pro Bowler in his 5th season. It's Deshaun Watson.
And he is, without any question at all, the focal point of this offense. Had an unbelievable game running the football last time out. We're not just talking about little scampers here and there for 5 or 10 yards. We're talking about big, long, explosive, field-flipping runs. And that's something this defense is well aware of.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 17 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on. Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one, B.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Bears are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. To Montgomery to begin the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Landry now on the return. 35 yards that time on the punt. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Dancing to his left. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the 50, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
A give running right is Chubb. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call.
Holding offense.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Watson. Flush to his right. He's going to fire one. Corner of the end zone. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
As a former defender, I can feel their sigh of relief after that one because when he breaks out of the pocket and you face a mobile quarterback, he causes all kind of problems in your secondary. They were able to force that incompletion.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
A run for Nick Chubb. Runs over him. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They run. Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bears now ready to take over again. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. To throw is Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big connection on that one. 37 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Fields throw pulled in by Robinson here. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
It's almost not fair when you talk about Allen Robinson to talk about how dependable he is, but that's a great word for him. Last year, first time he's gone over 100 receptions in his career, and he makes a nice catch there for a 1st down.
Going to throw deep for the end zone, and that is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. CD, you take a look at this draft class from this offense, and they went defense with their first-round pick.
Yeah, and you and I both know there were a lot of good players on that list, but this was a defense that was in need of an infusion of youth and speed, and that's what they got.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. Oh, Montgomery just unable to twist free as they hit him short of the line to gain. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Running for it, Montgomery. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Fields now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. 2nd down and 3. Ball on the 7. Now Montgomery running right. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Now a 1st down throw. Watson sliding out of the pocket, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again is Watson, being chased out left. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake, and it's Watson rolling to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Watson's throw taken in by Landry. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 33.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch,
thrown across his body and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. There he goes right side. And they will score a pick 6 for the Bears. Touchdown. So they had a good drive going, a chance to build on this first half lead, but now you kind of feel like we got a new ball game.
And you wonder what the discussion will be now at halftime, because I think we were headed towards 1. Now it's a different discussion altogether. One side optimistically, the other side wondering what could have been.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Maybe a free play for Watson. He'll buy some time right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
It's Allen. Go Mike.
Penalty declined.
I'm at Moss.
on first down. Watson flushed out right. Finding some room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson eluding the pressure right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. To throw again on second down. Watson flush to his right. The ball comes out, and the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Get out of here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go all day, baby, all day.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. So here are the Browns to take over. They were able to defeat Houston last week. They lead things here as well as they try to make it 2 victories in a row. The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2nd and 2. And again, it's Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. Escaping the pressure right. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now Watson. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is. And he passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 2nd and 5. Now Chubb running right, runs through the contact, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They run again on 1st down. Chubb, he'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's Cohen now to return. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing after the interception. Fields. And as he throws and the ball is out. It's a live football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a costly turnover there as the ball will be spotted 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. A give. This is Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
They'll give it to Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Cohen now to return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis this is symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Draw play. Fields gives to Montgomery. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Bears on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. From the 50, here's Fields. That's caught by Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Fields throwing again. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
That's interference.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under.
Williams loses the football, and this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Watson. Forced out to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. Chubb will have the first down and much more. And all the way up to the 31-yard line. 96 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. Gets through, and now an opening. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? Now that's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll try the air now with Watson. Flushed out right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Buying time to his left. Finding room to the 20. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, it's Fields. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Robinson. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Here's Fields. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. It just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tap.
That is hauled in by Jimmy Graham. Touchdown Bears. Jimmy Graham. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And Watson's going to throw it here, eluding the pressure right. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. 2nd and 10. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Where is Hunt?
They run it again with Chubb. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 110 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue.
Allen loves Chubb and Johnson.
Charles in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now a 2nd down and 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
On third down, here's Hunt. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Browns, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.
Let's see my trade offers.
Jones, Shorty.